Well, good evening, everybody. Thank you for those of you who don't know who I am. I'm speaking instead of Kevin because I was elected as president for the club for this next year. So Kevin is still there. He's sitting on the side. Look at that. He's got his feet up on the desk. He's relaxed. He's no stress whatsoever.
The cosmos behind him.
Isn't that something? Yeah, he can duck out at a moment's notice and take a peek at the stars. So And my big thanks to Kevin for what's been a great transition the past month and actually a couple of months here, just helping me get acclimated to things and get things in order and answer a bunch of questions, and still allowing him to take his travels across America this past month. So it worked out great. So, and Kevin, I guess it worked today because we're here on Zoom. so, so
Yeah, everything worked.
Oh, very good. All right, so we're going to start with our business meeting. We'll end at 7 o'clock, hopefully. And we have our guest tonight also from Australia, a friend of mine, Chris Chapman, and he'll be talking about his the expedition to Lord Howe Island. But before then, just a few things I wanted to go through with all of you. I was going to give a quick president's report. I don't know that this will always be the case, but I thought I wanted to let you guys know where I'm coming from. So for this next year, I do have two goals as the president for you guys. And one of them is deepening engagement among current members. So what I mean by that is making sure you get value for your membership, making sure that your voices are heard, as this club has evolved and will continue to evolve. I want you guys to be engaged and enjoy your membership and not feel you're just logging in once a month and you're done with it. If that's all you want to do, that's great. But if there's more to be done, then I'm all in favor of doing it. The other thing is attracting new members, particularly younger hams. And when I say younger hams, I'm not talking age-related like teenagers or 50-year-olds or anything like that. I'm talking about younger hams that are, say, newer to ham radio and don't have DX on their radar just yet. And maybe they caught the FT8 fever. Maybe they got the VHF handy talkie fever. Maybe they just are coming in on the backside of cycle 25. But, I want them to catch the DX fever. And, I'd like to help have our club be in a position to bring in more members to the club because, every club needs more members to become vibrant and stay vibrant. So I figured let's see if we can't do some attraction of some of our newer hams that are out there. So I got a couple of ideas. I'm glad Bill's here tonight because Bill, AJ8B, is initiating a new club, or not a club, but an organization of other DX clubs to share ideas. So this will be one of those things that we get to bounce off of each other is how do we attract new members? What have been the successes, what have been the not so good successes, and kind of see what works and maybe what doesn't work, that type of thing. So that'll be cool. So first meeting comes up later on in the month, and I'm looking forward to that. Also, I had an officer and advisors meeting. What is that? That's like an executive committee. So Jim, and who's our treasurer and secretary, Dave, our vice president, myself, then also Kevin is part of that, and Bob, EWC, he's also part of that. Both have been very integral, both are very involved. And so between the five of us, we had a meeting and we'll continue to have meetings. And what we talked about last week, rather quickly, was the first thing was operational continuity. And what I mean by that is not having all our eggs in one basket, that only one person knows how to log into, like, say, the email system that Ted oversees. So if something should happen that we need to get into the email system and Ted's not available, there's got to be somebody else besides Ted, right? So we're working towards that. And I'm just picking on Ted as an example with our email. He's doing a great job. So there's other things, website, and just a few other things that we want to do to back each other up. So that like I said, if we have the need, we're able to continue on. Speaking of that, we talked about immediate needs and we talked about future planning. Some of our future planning includes having refresh of our website. Brett's been keeping it all together for now, but clearly it's got an out-of-date look to it. So we want to give it a fresher look. We want to make it set it up with a new platform that makes it easy to change content and keep it current at all times. And again, it's something that multiple people can participate in as necessary so that it doesn't all fall on one's shoulders. We talked about, and then as I mentioned, we also talked about engaging members and attracting new members. So that's really in a nutshell what's going on here. So if anybody has any questions about any of that, please go ahead and fire away right now, and I'll do my best to answer.
You know, it's funny for the Four Lakes Amateur Radio Club, we're going through the same process, trying to figure out how to spread the workload among, the continuity idea. What happens if to the treasurer, if he decides to walk away and there's nobody else knows how to get to the checkbook? Or, the secretary says, hey, I can't do it for the next month. My hands are going to be broken. I got to break my, surgery or something. So we're going through that same process, trying to, get new members, get people involved, come up with some new ideas, things like that. So it's interesting that you brought that up today.
Well, good. It's possibly that this is a universal thought, right? But when you're in the driver's seat, everything becomes much more apparent. So it's that. But you hit it right on. Those are two very perfect examples of why we want to have this operational continuity. So terrific. All right. Well, that's good to know that at least we're thinking on the good positive lines, and somebody else is too. So, all right. Anything else? Otherwise, I'm going to turn it over to Jim to give a treasurer's report. Go ahead, Jim.
Okay, once I actually physically go to the bank tomorrow, excuse me, we'll be at 29.60 and 44 cents. And that's with 25 people signed up. That's one. I found another one in my email after I sent you the list. So that's what we're up to right now is 29 people or 25 people.
Okay. Okay, so 25 renewals. I think we had 44 on the roster for the year. So,
Jim?
So I sent out an email to those who had not renewed or we didn't think they renewed.
Yeah, I got a couple of responses on that.
Good.
Jim? Jim? Am I making it?
Yeah.
Over the years, everybody, you have just said, you don't know how far ahead I'm paid. Please just wipe the slate clean, and I repaid my dues yesterday or today or whatever.
Yeah.
So just start from scratch with me, please.
Okay. I'd like that for everybody, and I'd like everybody to please pay in July if possible in the future.
We'll just open up that big old funnel.
Yeah, there you go.
Have it all pour in. All right.
Jim, does that mean I have to pay again now? Because I think I paid in June. So do I need to pay again in July?
No. Well, I had a question from somebody who paid in February, and I actually don't know what to tell him. So he sent me an email asking about that. Normally, I let those people slide, but that's about it. I have to go take a phone call from the most important person in my life right now. And it's not you guys. Sorry.
All right. Jim, will you be able to send out an annual report then, expenses and income?
We'll try to work on that.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Take care, Jim. Take care of your important call. All right. Very good. I know this sounds awfully stodgy, but I've got an old business, we'll call it, item. I didn't know what else to call it, but last meeting, Ed brought up some information about the club's packet cluster and brought up some concerns, and he brought up, I think he was also trying to gauge interest by club members on the use of the packet cluster. I had a really nice phone call with with Ed and a couple of emails, and I think everything is coming together on that. The packet cluster will, of course, remain online, and what we want to do is bring some awareness to what the packet cluster is and how to use it. And interestingly, during some of the conversation that I've had with people, some people weren't even aware of what the packet cluster is. So I
That
think
means,
with
what is a packet cluster?
yeah, perfect. So Sam, we want to answer that question. We can answer it now, but I think we want to answer it more fully. And we're going to do a presentation in December. Now, I don't mean for you to wait until December to get your answer, but we're going to have a presentation in December where Ed and anyone he wants to have help support him will be presenting about the packet cluster, how it works, how you get engaged with it, how you benefit from it. And then we're also going to have one from Ted. Now, remember, we own the packet cluster. Ted owns his own CW skimmer, and he's going to talk about the CW skimmer and what it does. So really, you've got a couple of tools here that you can work with, all right? And it's nice to have options. But I thought that would be beneficial, I think, for club members to know. And like you said, Sam, I think besides yourself, there's probably a few people that aren't aware of what it is and how it works. So let's see. Ed, do you want to give a 30-second explanation of what the packet cluster is?
Okay, well, I'll do my best.
All right.
We have been involved. Well, the packet cluster is a network, started out called AR cluster. And it's a network that evolved back in the mid 80s to transport DX information from place to place to place. Scott and I were both very much involved in it at that time. And that was in the days when all the links were radio oriented, etc. It got taken over by the ability to use internet for the backbone connections. Now, I finally, a couple of days ago, I've just all but been out of the circuit, but I finally got my son, who was up at the Merrimack where the node is actually located, to do a screenshot to show me what is connected to that thing. And there's a bunch of stuff on there that I have no idea who in the hell it is or what it is. There's reverse beacon network on there. There's users on there, and there's some really weird. They look like users, but they're really weird IDs. And I'm just real leery to tell my son pull the plug, because I don't know what I'm dumping if I dump it. So I need to. I don't know when I'll get to the research at the bottom of what's what, and I don't know if there's anybody out there that actually administers this network, or if it's just become a hodgepodge of everybody's connected to everybody, and the whole thing operates like a mesh. I'm totally lost at it, and actually a lot of it was taken out of my hands and even Scott's hands years ago, when Dave Zeffs more or less said, "I'm going to run the Midwest area," and I think Scott will attest to that. So that's kind of where we're at. I really, at this point, don't know a hell of a lot of what's going on or what to tell you.
All right, Scott, any other comments?
None for me.
Okay.
I actually got out of it before that management of the Midwest took place. I had moved, probably to Illinois or something like that.
All right. So Sam, the bottom line is, back in the day, I mean, way back in the day, right? Just get on, used to have the repeaters that would stations where you report in on DX that they were working, or stations that they heard after they worked them, of course. And now then they became a packet radio, became
Well,
a
there were nodes. We ran nodes, and it was software. We had to buy software.
right.
In
Right.
fact, it owns from the software that ran the nodes. But for example, way back when, it was Gary Berliot that had a digipeater with, what was it, Scott? 10 accesses out of Madison to connect back to us in Milwaukee. So I mean, it was an evolving thing, but it was it at the time was an extremely important thing for us. It was a big change.
So the bottom line, Sam, is that stations would report in via packet DX stations that they spotted worked or otherwise, that would report in through the network and then funnel its way up to, well, now it funnels up to sites like DX Summit, DX Watch, things like that. So if you're ever looking at that, that's the benefit. One of the beneficiaries is coming from the packet clusters.
Okay.
And there's many of them around the country. So
It makes it up there somewhere, and I don't know, from looking at it, I don't know at this point how important a role we play in it.
the value really, I think, in a packet cluster is, well, I guess this is debatable, but I always felt that packet cluster is the best value is when it's localized. When you can when you can hear reports from other stations in your area of DX that they're hearing, then you know that whatever reporting, you have a pretty good chance that you're going to hear them too.
Well, there's a ton of filtering out there that you can do to keep it local to you.
So anyway, well, that's what I'm looking for a presentation in December, is all that information. So,
Oh, I'll be down in Arizona at that point, so I don't know what's going to happen on that account.
all right. So there we go. That's the update on that. Bob is not here to talk about DX and give a DX report. He's feeling under the weather himself. So in lieu of that, I think I'm just going to open it up to all you guys and just say, what are you guys working? Ted told me earlier in the pre-meeting that 6 meters has been open and has never closed. So they worked 10 new ones. Is that right, Ted?
Yeah, 10 new ones. Pretty
Wow.
nice. Got 8 QSLs already. And that was just in the last month. It's been a great sporadic season.
That's amazing. One of the things, one of the things sitting where I am in Stoughton is I'm in a hole, so I can't hit the Madison repeaters on 2 meters, right? And so DX is interesting phenomenon when I get it. So, I think I've gotten 6 meters 3 times since, and I don't work it so hard, but 3 times in the last 4 years since I've been moved to Madison. So, it's one of those magic things that happens. You're either on or you're off, from what I understand.
Well, FT8 has made that band a lot more open than it used to be. So even if you're in a hole somewhere, it doesn't really seem to matter a whole lot for digital modes anyway.
Yeah, I know my antenna system's not set up for optimum 6 meters, but every so often you get that random signal that comes through and you go, oh, ha, we're stuck. Talk to me, quick.
Well, if the band is open, a wet string does just fine.
Yeah.
If the band is closed, then you need to resort to digital modes. But the band is really never closed, interestingly enough. I monitor it both with my skimmer and in real time. And it's rather seldom that I don't hear stations 700-800 miles away on 6 meters. I'm not in the world's finest VHF spot. It's pretty quiet though, that helps.
Yeah. No, the best time I got it was just happened to walk into it. And it was like, oh wow, quick, like maybe 6 or 8 stations I got that day, all out of the southeast. Got one station from near Atlanta, Georgia, where I used to live. So that was interesting. So, but yeah, it's 6 meter. You guys talk about 6 meters, and that's like, well, one of these days I should see if I can do something about that.
It's fairly easy to see if the band is open if you bring up pskreporter.info and stick my call in and see what I'm hearing. If it's on any mode on 6 meters, my skimmer hears it. Meteor scatter, Q65, CW. various FT8, FT4, FT2. So if I'm hearing it, maybe you can too. I'm not that far away.
Well, I have to start paying more attention. But yeah, it seems like from where I am, things have been slow. Seems like a lot of US and a little bit of South America, not much of Asia coming through, doesn't seem like.
Well, you know, it's the magic band down in Arizona. I built a quarter wave vertical, stuck it on a flat roof, went downstairs, got on the radio and said, wonder if there's anything here. Got an FT8. First two contacts I made were Chile and Argentina.
Okay.
Dick, I have an update on the 3Y0 QSL cards.
Oh, okay. Go for it.
I checked with the other pilots and they basically, quote, I talked to Charles in Germany last month and he mentioned waiting on Indexa inserts to send the remaining cards, which were to mostly US ops. I expect this will be done shortly. So not much of an update, but it's an update.
All right. There you go, Scott. Thanks for that, Bill. Appreciate it.
Sure.
What else you guys working?
I've just finished rebuilding somebody else's linear amplifier and set it up for 80 meters and getting to fully get the feel of 80 meters at the moment. But interesting enough, the band doesn't really open up to DX properly until about 1200 Zulu from here, and by that time the sun is rising over the west coast of USA. So it appears that under present conditions the DX is somewhat limited. Normally I could work right into the east coast at their sunrise. My whisper results are on a 24-hour whisper on 160 meters, and it shows it only opens up until into the west coast, just on their sunrise. So for some reason, it doesn't get much further than that. That's the story from here.
All right. Thank you for that. Anybody else? All right. Let's move along. We have not received any, again, it's second month now. We haven't received any requests for supports of the expeditions. Everybody must be still in the planning stages, and we'll keep our ears open. And as they come in, we'll take a review and obviously present them to you guys. So the money is safe in the account.
I do have the expedition that I think I supported it. KJ9I, our good friend over on the eastern part of Wisconsin there, he's going to the Pacific, and he's going to work. I'm going to screw all of this up. He's going to work moonbounds, and do that as a de-expedition for a couple of weeks. And it's on one of the Pacific islands, which I could now go and look. But he's looking for some donations. He's not pushing it very hard. He's doing it all by himself, all his equipment, travel arrangements, everything else. And the call is going to be W0 M, as in Mexico.
What's his call again?
KJ99, Kilowatt
Oh.
Japan 9 India.
Yeah, okay, I recognize that. Okay. Oh yeah, I recognize that. Okay. All right. Well, thanks for that. Another item on my agenda here is any member feedback or any new business that you guys would like us to consider in the club? How's the club doing? Are we doing good for you guys? Is there anything that we need to be aware of? Anything that we're not doing that you think we should be doing?
If I could just go back, I went up to QRZ and looked at the information. It's going to be August 1 through 13 this year. It's a 6-meter EMED expedition going on the Saipan, Northern Mariana Islands. So,
So 2.5 weeks from now.
yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Is there interest in supporting that? I was thinking like making a motion to spend $100 and send it to Dave and help him support that in-person re-expedition.
Well, if I might make a comment, was it Heard Island that he went to?
Yes.
I mean, he at that point, at that time, which was 20 years ago now, I mean, he pumped out $10,000 of his own money to go on that. So I at least a token gesture would be in line. In fact, I'll make a move. I move that we $200.
Second.
All right. That's the motion. Was seconded by Kevin. We're going to want to get a hold of him, get some more details here. But it was proposed by Scott. So do we all in favor?
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Any opposed? None opposed. Okay. Motion carries. All right, Jim.
Jim, I'll get you the PayPal address and send it to you.
All right. Sounds good.
All right, very good. I just want to make you guys aware. Well, thanks for doing that. Thanks, Scott, for bringing that up. That's great. That's how it works here. So glad we could support somebody and those of you with the EME capabilities. It'll be a good time for you guys to go chasing that. All right, looking ahead here on our program schedule. So coming up shortly, Chris is here, so he's all tuned up, ready to go, and we'll get him underway in just a few minutes to talk about his de-expedition to Lord Howe Island. I see one of his team members, Matt K0BBC, is also here, so that's terrific. Coming up in August, George Allison K1IG is going to be giving you a presentation on Under the Hood of Logbook of the World. And I understand this is he's very, very knowledgeable. He's got some deep insights onto the inner workings of Logbook of the World. That's going to become a very fascinating presentation. So I would encourage you to want to be here for that presentation. In September, and I have to throw out some bragging rights here, but in September, we've got Otis from NP3G. He's the team leader of KP5 NP3VI down to Sachio. He will be giving us his presentation. A few days later, he'll be at W9DXCC. So I feel like we scooped them, but small victories, right? Anyway, Otis is going to be giving us a great presentation. I saw a presentation at Hamvention at the DX Forum, and this guy's a riot. I mean, he is very loose, very fun. I think this will be a very amusing as well as educational presentation. And of course, you all know about the Sachio being the fully remote DXpedition. And he'll give you some key insights and to how he pulled it all together and the team, the awesome team that he used. Then coming up in November, Carl will be giving us an update on cycle 25 with his 2026 propagation forecast. And December, if we pull it all together here internally, we'll have the presentation on CW skimmers, packet clusters, and that will be our holiday party as well. So that's what we got coming up. October is still being worked on, so we're trying to figure an antenna-oriented program because that is antenna month in Wisconsin. Got to get it done in October. Or as Fred, are you still on here? Or as Fred would say, you get extra dBs for putting up your antenna in the freezing cold, snowy weather. Good for antenna.
That's right.
So, all right.
I'm probably going to do it again this year.
You kill me, Fred. Good for you. Always putting my smile on my face. All right. So that's what we got here. I'd like to put out a commercial before we take a break to give some room for Chris. And that is briefly that if for those of you who are not a member of our club, I hope we give you enough reason here for you to consider joining our club. If anything, just think of it this way. Our membership dues go to fund DXpeditions. We do have some technology needs, a little few that the dues help support that, but primarily it goes to funding DXpeditions. So as a member, you get a voice in the DXpeditions we choose. Scott just brought up a perfect example of that. This was pre-planned and he had saw a need, brought it up, and there we were to support it. So this is how we roll. So if you're not a member, please consider it. All right, with that, I'm going to put the recording on pause and let's take a 2-minute break and give Chris a little chance to get ramped up here, and we'll be right back with that presentation.
G'day, Dick.
Yeah, hey, Chris.
How are you?
Good. Let me just see if I can.
That sounds like an Aussie voice to me.
Yeah, well, I saw there was another one of us there. A couple of ring-ins. But I've invited Matt K0B